friends. Time to clean the glasses. So we do that first. We always do that first. Changing over to the glasses. Good. All right. Got some nice dream pop going. I think I want to make more rainbow drops. These things are pretty rad. So that is a drop. But I need to make a latticino first because this is all I have left. So I'm going to make another one. Off we go. Actually, let's make sure we get all the colors we need. Red. Purple, which is actually kind of a lavender color. Alright. So now we're going to pull some latticino. So first we're going to pull the stringers. These bad boys are stringers. And this is a black stringer that I'll use for my little faces, for my little heart guys. Purple. A little bit though. I mean, if it's such a small amount, I'm just not even keep it. Because then the bench starts to get a little nuts. You start keeping every last little bit. But glass is pretty expensive these days. So maybe there's something to that. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, green. Where's my green? There it is. Alright, I need some violet. I don't have any of this. Alright. Okay, good. Hi there, how you doing? Hoja, how you doing today? Hello, Bead Cesara. Hello, how you doing today? Hi, Ezekiel Durante Luna. I'm trying. I am trying. Hi there, how y'all doing today? Welcome to 2 o'clock torch time with J9. Here I am, ready to turn on the torch. Here we go. Silver Jones, I am going to be making, first of all, I'm making a rainbow latticino. So it's a twisted cane. I'm out of it, so I'm going to make a little bit more of that so that I can make these. These are steel drops. And they have a cubic zirconia in the middle. You really can't see it, but there's a little diamondy bit in there. This is Italian soft glass. And that's what I'm going to start with. And then I'm going to be making beads, and then I'm going to be making little glass beads. So, that's what I'm making. Thank you. Thank you so much. Alright, so let's get it done. Actually, I gotta put some lotion on my hands, feel very dry. Lotion first, y'all. We're getting there, y'all. We're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there. Alright. So, got all my Latticino pulled, all my stringers pulled except for this EDP, Evil Divitrifying Purple. So I'm going to pull a stringer with that one, and then we're going to pull the Latticino. So, make sure I have what I need over here. Very good. Get the gas flowing. Let's do it. Hi there, Wallies. What's happening? How are ya? Do I ever mess with borosilicate or shot glass? Yes, I do. Hi, Kevin Fortworth. What's up? I totally do. I make chains and drinking straws and all sorts of stuff. But I prefer soft glass, to be honest with you. It melts so fast and it just turns to liquid so quick. It's really different stuff than Boro. And I feel like with Boro too, I'd need to upgrade my equipment a bit, and I'd have to upgrade my kiln, and so I don't know. I do mess with it a little bit. So yeah, I do some. I've worked with some opals, and man, the synthetic opals are fun. So yeah, I've done a little bit of both. I've been spinning the glass for about 25 years, literally half my life, and yeah, I don't do bowls or pipes. No, I make primarily I make jewelry, and check out my website. I'm at J9Glass.art. So check out what I do. I do wall sculptures. I make chain. I do beads. Do you want to see one of my chains? Would you like to see one? I could show it to you. You want to see it? I have a chain that has ladybugs in it. It's also on my website, so if you want to see it there. I'm not making that today. I don't want to confuse people. So check out the website. That's where the photos are of the chain. Anyways, I gotta turn the kiln. I gotta turn the torch on. So we're gonna make a Latticino here. So this funny little dance I do with the oxygen before I turn on my torch. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a strange little OCD thing. I'm not sure. But I kind of wiggle my oxygen to make sure it gets some going on in there before I ignite it. And it's just a thing I do. I probably do it 5 or 6 times every time. There's no reason for it, really. Oh well. Just observing. I love scientific glass. Laboratory glass just makes me feel fuzzy. Oh yeah. They're working with 5,000 degrees, something crazy. Yeah. Oh, that's hot, man. The scientific glass is very, very hot. I mean, they're working. I mean, I've seen videos where they're doing like torches coming from like 3 different angles. Like it's just like some intense stuff, man. Yeah, the scientific glass is pretty cool. I was invited to do that one time, but they weren't going to pay me that much, and well, it was going to be for a job, and they weren't going to pay me that much, and I had to be there at 4 in the morning, and heck, I do that in my own studio. I didn't want to be paid very little money to do that at somebody else's studio. So, however, I kind of regret not understanding anything about the scientific glass because I would have learned a lot. But I went diva. Sometimes you gotta go diva. Do I ever do any neon signs? No, I haven't, but that's rad. I know people who have. No, I don't. It's very cool though. I mean, the neon sign people are really, that's a whole different breed altogether. Very cool. London fog. God, so good. Yummy. Alright, so I'm going to pull a Latticino. That's going to be a rainbow one. So I'm going to put it on clear so you can see the flipping ribbon throughout the whole thing. So I'm going to flash into the heat. That might be a little hot. Okay. So I'm going to flash in the clear. You want to make sure that you don't put the glass directly into the heat right away. If you go from cold and don't flash it into this heat, it'll pop. The stress, it'll just pop all over the place. So you have little hot bits everywhere. You don't want hot bits. Not ideal. We're going to add the red first. I'm going to add 1 stripe of red. Are those glasses for vision protection? They are, but they're also for their didymium, so I can see through this orange flame that you guys are seeing. I can see through it. Got to get ready for work. Y'all stay safe and keep on melting. Thanks a lot, Wally. Have a great day. Have a good one. Good to see you. So yeah, the glasses are for protection and for me to be able to see. So When I do classes, I will have the Didium glasses, like the I'm wearing right now, on the camera so that you can see right through it, so you can see what I'm doing. I don't have it for the live just because I feel like if people don't know at all what's going on over here, I feel like it's better to have the orange flame because it's more flashy. But yeah, I will be having classes so you'll see exactly what I'm doing. Line, not very neat. Over here. Slappy. Okay. Red, orange, orange, and yellow. Why, thank you. Hello, how you doing, Nolda C9? Flashy. It's very flashy, is it? Gotta make a little bit of a spectacle over here. So yeah, when I do the class, I definitely will have it where you can see through the orange part of the flame. But that's what it's doing, is I can see right through that. You have to be able to see what's going on. Hello, Noldus89. How are you doing today? Orange, yellow, green, blue, and then the newly pulled violet. Okay. Now we're going to do a blue next to the green. And then we are going to be the purple next to that one. Do you have the ability to make your own playable marble sets? I do have the ability. I have made marbles in the past. Also, it's not my jam like regularly. So what I do is I would recommend you to another marble maker. I have a friend who's I have a really good friend who's a great marble maker. But yeah, the technique's the same or similar. You work off mandrel, and it is. I'm more of a bead maker than I am a marble maker. Can I do it? Yes. Do I do it very often? I don't. I have made them in the past. I should put some pictures on my website of some of my older work. I really should. That's something I need to do soon. So there'll be other photographs of things that I've sold or things I don't make anymore or whatever. Yeah, I am primarily a bead maker, and I also do sculpture. I do wall sculpture that is mixed media with paper and wood and resin and glass and all sorts of stuff. So check my website at J9Glass.art. That's where that is. So here's a nice lattice, nice little twisted cane. Beautiful. Love it. Okay. Probably should have encased that, but that's okay. We will do it without the encasing and see how it goes. That means if I'm going to make these drops, I'm going to have to do them very loose and not mix them very much because the yellow and the green are next to each other. And when you put the yellow and the green next to each other, they create this little black line. And if I don't want a little black line in my work, then you can be very careful you don't mix them up so it doesn't get muddy. So that's what this is steel, very, very thin steel. And I'm just going to add a little bit of this to this steel. Yeah, I did a live one time with the lens on, and then I asked everybody what they thought about it, and the response was no lens. They like the flashy. So, I can't blame them. The flashy is nice. As long as I can see what I'm doing, that's really the important thing. All right. A wooden glass is very just classy, if you ask me. Very aesthetic. Yeah, totally. Agreed. I like that too. All right, so now I've got the gather of Latticino on the end of the steel. And I didn't mix it too much, so it's going to look really cool. And now we're going to encase it on the steel. And this, you have to make sure that your clear stringer is very hot while you're encasing. You have to push it right up against the last layer you just did. If you're not careful with this, you'll leave a gap and then it looks weird. Alright. Alright, here we go. Around we go. Melting directly into the last line I just put on. Alright, there we go. Now I'm going to melt it all in. And then we're going to add a cubic zirconia to it. But when we melt it all in, we also have to shape it a little bit. It's funny because when you see glass like this, you just figure you can just go doop and it's just going to do that automatically or very easily. And I don't know that it really... You have to kind of manipulate it a little bit. You have to show it where you want it to go. Hi there, Jason Hill. How you doing today? Alright, so I'm going to give it a little bit more of that teardrop shape with my marver. Kind of encourage it to do that. There we go, see? Alright, so now it's encased. It's nice. I'm going to put a CZ in it. I have a cubic zirconia right here on my marver. I'm going to superheat one side of it, and then I'm going to press it onto the CZ. There we go. And you have to get it hotter than that if it's going to stick. So we're going to get it hot again. There we go. Boom, that's it. There we go. I'm going to flatten this one, see what that looks like. So there's a little cubic zirconia right there. Yeah. I'm going to put a little clear on top of that, and I'm going to make the clear kind of stick up a little bit, because if it does that, it'll magnify it and make it look a lot bigger than it is. And also, whenever you're applying cubic zirconia to the soft glass, you have to be sure you put enough clear over that CZ. If you don't, it will crack after you get it out of the kiln. So you have to make sure it's got a nice layer of that. If that ratio is wrong, you'll just have a split piece, and that's a bummer. Do you ever incorporate birthstones like alexandrite into your art? Not really birthstones. I put cubic zirconia in, and I can do them in different colors. But this, with the soft glass, I don't know if the alexandrite would do it. I do goldstone, and I do different color cubic zirconia for birthstones. That's when you went to birthstone. Because I don't think that not all things are compatible with glass. Like, you can put things in the torch, and some things will melt, but when you cool it, it has more of it will break. Man, have you ever hurt yourself during that? Hello, DDs, how you doing? Or Deads? I have. I've burnt myself a bunch. I've been doing this for 25 years, so I figure when you're on torch just about every day, it's gonna happen, man. Yeah, I've gotten a few burns. I mean, you still get burns. I've been doing this a long time, and I still get burns sometimes. And not as much, but sometimes it does happen. Like, I noticed that if I am tired, or if I am not in the headspace for the glass, I shouldn't be here. Like, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't be here. I can't be here if I shouldn't be here. So this is what it looks like. So when this cools, that'll be rainbow with the cubic zirconia in the middle. Yeah, it kind of comes with territory. It really does. I mean, you just have to be careful at the end of the day, but sometimes it happens. Not my favorite. Not my favorite. Yeah, I mean, the torch is running. I mean, the glass melts at about here in the flame, and it's about 1800 degrees. That's freaking hot. So, and people have wanted me to teach kids, and I know that people do, but I don't want to. I'm not sure how kids would be with fire. I guess it depends on the person. Because I did teach a 12-year-old kid one time how to make beads, and he just was awesome. But I don't know. So. I just went out to lunch with a friend, and that was a London fog. Oh, it's so good. Yummy. All right. I'm going to do another one of those. We're going to do a few of those drops with the rainbows, and then we're going to make some beads with the rainbows, and then we're going to make some bees. That's what we're going to do. So here's that latticino I just made. It's a rainbow latticino. Right. Really cool. It's very fruit stripe gum. So if you feel that you are tired or not in the right headspace, you just shut it all down for another day. Kind of. Usually I'll take a walk and try and get in the mood. I mean, this is my job, so I'm here every day, and this is what I do. So, but if I'm tired, if it's towards the end of the day and I'm tired, I will stop. If I've been doing it all day and I'm tired, I'll stop. If I'm not in the mood, you gotta get over it if it's your job, you know. Hello, Chef Omar. How you doing today? Fantastic. Welcome. How are you? So yeah, I think that's important with anything you're doing, like, you know, driving or operating large machinery, and I think blowtorches definitely fall into that category. Yay, Chef Omar, welcome. Heck, I'm new too. All right. Now let that drop. I used to smoke and buy custom bongs. What do you make here? I am a jewelry maker. I make, here, let me show you. I make the glass beads. I make jewelry. And I also, check out my website. It's J9Glass.art. I do wall sculptures. I do chain. I do drinking straws. What else do I do? Ear cuffs, hair noodles, plant stakes. I make a lot of stuff. Yeah, I don't make pipes. I'm glad I never really got, I mean, I've been doing this a long time. I started with soft glass. I also work in boro, but I am a bead maker by trade. Like, this is how I've been making beads a long time. So that's primarily where I go. So, you know, beads have been made for thousands of years. So that's kind of cool. And also, I feel bad for a lot of people that had just started doing the glass because of the bong craze, because you know, you can get pipes real cheap. I mean, heck, you can buy a $5 chillum at the gas station right now. It's ridiculous. Yeah, cool. Yeah, there's some neat stuff. I mean, I'm like, my most expensive thing that I have in my case right now is an $800 chain that has ladybugs in it. So that's the kind of stuff that I don't make a whole lot of that right now, just because I don't think the economy for the summer is going to sell a whole bunch of chains. You never know what's going to happen, but I can't have my whole case full of chain. There we go. Yeah, check out J9Glass.art. Maybe a little bit more clear here. Alright, I'm going to put another CZ on this one. Have you ever used a secret white color? I don't know what that is. I do not know what that is. Aquamarine. Oh, I love aquamarine. Are you talking about boro or soft? Secret white color, Chef Omar, in white or in borosilicate or soft glass? and you make honeybee art. Hello, Kevin Fort Worth. How you doing? What I do have bees. I make canes. I'm a cane puller, so I do make cane occasionally. I have little bees, so I do make bee stuff. So yeah, I make honeybee stuff. I have earrings and a bunch of things. I have little honeybee charms. They'll be on the website soon. And then let's see here. I don't know the difference between soft or other. Okay, let me explain to you what soft glass is. So the difference between borosilicate is what pipes are made out of. So if you see pipes, or a better example is Pyrex dishes, right? Those are borosilicate glass. So it's a very, very strong kind of glass, and it melts at a very high temperature. That's what I just made. It melts at a very high temperature, and it requires quite a lot of energy to do. And soft glass does not require as much heat. So borosilicate melts, I think, at like 2,000 something, and this melts at 1,800. But it's really the COE. It's the coefficient of expansion. So that's COE. That's the rate at which it melts and cools. So those rates are a numerical scale, and the soft glass that I'm using right now, soft glass, has a COE of 104, whereas borosilicate, like what pipes are made out of in your dishes, is a COE of, I think, 22 to 24. So that's the difference. So they're not compatible. They work differently in the flame, and yeah. Kevin, I will have honeybee art on my website with little charms with honeybees on them. Yes, soon. And then Peggy Fairweather, it's your birthstone. Cool. Yeah, so I can do those different colors. I will let you get my bomb of honeybee earrings for her birthday. Right on, Kevin. Let's see here. Do I have bee stuff in right now? Send me an email. J9Glass, Jannine.scott@gmail.com. I think it's in my bio. And we can work something out. I can totally do that. I have little charms, so they don't have the bees in them, they just have charms. And I have earrings that start at like 25 bucks. They go up to like 80 depending on how much detail's in the glass. I had Instagram and followed lots of glass makers. They have a big studio for 10 people on the big torches, vents, and fans. Cool. Yeah, yeah, there's different kinds of glass. So I have a fan. This torch can also melt the boro. I've got the ventilation and all the things. Glass is amazing stuff. There's a lot of different ways to work it, and a lot of different people do a lot of different things with it. But today, I'm making rainbow drops and beads. So, thank you for joining me. Hi, Jose. Or Josie, depending on how your name is, how you pronounce it. Anyway, hello. Some people really charge 10K for bomb. It's extremely beautiful, but I'm not rich. Yeah, same. The thing is, like, there are some incredible, really amazing boro workers, especially in Colorado, I must say. There's some really amazing glass artists around. And they do charge a lot for some of their pieces, but they're some of the coolest things I've ever seen. Like, Joe Peters, really good. Yushin, really good. They do some beautiful work. And so they also both started with soft glass and hot shop. So hot shop is large scale glass. So people like vases and things like that. That's usually done with huge furnaces, and they have big blow pipes and all that. So that might have been what you were talking about, but yeah, it depends on how you're working it. Lamp working can give you the most detail though. It's a very delicate fine work. So lamp working is what I'm doing. That's what this technique is called. If you are doing big furnace work, like with the huge ovens and the glory hole and all the big crucibles of glass and the big, that stuff going on, that is called furnace glass or hot shop glass. So that is some big glass. Like Luna glass from Hawaii has some of the best pieces. Cool. Right on. I believe it. Yeah, there's a lot of boro people out there making some really neat pipes. It's not what I do. Yeah, go check out my website, Chef Omar. Let me know what you think. Yeah, I'm actually going to be putting a whole lot of new stuff on there within the next month. So the spring collection of jewelry is coming out soon. I have another photo shoot next week, and then we got to get all the photos up on the website. And then you can start ordering. There's cute earrings coming out, y'all. Man, I got some really super cute stuff. Really excited. Is it possible to get into scientific boro glass as a side hobby? Would it have to be a full-time job? Oof. Scientific boro glass. Well, it depends on how much money you have to get your equipment going. One of the reasons why I'm also a bead maker is that I'm in love with working the hot glass. But like you, like you said, I just don't have money to have a big studio. So the thing that's nice about soft glass is that it's a lot less expensive to get started with. And you can get a lot more colors. They're getting close though, I must say. So I think that it depends, Kevin. It depends on where you're coming from. What I would do if I were you, if you're interested in glass, and I always tell people this, is find a lamp worker that makes soft glass beads wherever you are, right? Take that class first and kind of like what I'm doing, and then you can get to the other stuff. Because, I mean, if you start with soft glass, boro is easy. Because this moves really fast. Boro moves very slowly. You have to get very, very hot. So if you start with soft glass, I think it's better. If you start with boro, trying to slow down this glass that moves really fast is really frustrating. You know? It's just not the same stuff. Scientific glass is usually not boro. I think that scientific glass is usually what is it called? It's quartz or something nuts. I might be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure that that's true. Okay, I'm just adding another cubic zirconia. Put a little clear on there. I also teach classes here at the Manitou Art Center on bead making. So if you happen to be in Colorado, that is where I teach. And I've been teaching for a long time. I really like to teach beginners because that is fun. Okay. I just put clear on top of that. Better with photos. Okay, now we're going to make some rainbow beads and then probably another latticino. Yeah, the glass is my job and I paint for a hobby. That's pretty much what happens. If I sell a painting, yay, but it's not. My paintings are kind of abstract, so yeah. And actually, if you want to do this as a job, it takes a lot. I mean, you really have to throw it all in for it. But if you're addicted to the glass and addicted to the melts, then you won't have a choice. Okay, little tiny baby rainbow spacers. As small as I can make them. We fixed it. There's two. So I know you said $80, but if I sent you like $200, would you be able to make some pretty honeybee earrings? Or would that extra money be unnecessary? Let's see here. I have a bee cane, so I could make them very fancy if you want fancy ones. Kevin, just send me an email. J9Glass, or Jannine, JANNINE.Scott at gmail.com. Throw me an email and we'll work it out. I'll show you what I have, and you'll see. So the earrings that are on the website are not the same earrings that I'm putting out now. So, and I have ones that are whatever you're looking for. Cool. So if you wanted me to make super fancy one with tiny little glass beads inside of it, I totally can do that. So that is entirely up to you. Okay, those are some nice little rainbow beads. Oh my god, these are going to be such cute earrings. I'm here to say. So I'm going to make another latticino with the rainbow. That's it. We need another rainbow, I must say. We need another one. The rainbows are just so cheerful and happy and cute. They really are. Let's do it again. Thank you so much for joining me, all. I really appreciate it. Jannine. So my email is jannine.scott@gmail.com. JANNINE. So there's 3 N's in my name. JANNINE.Scott. Yeah, I'll send you an email back later on today, and we'll see what I got going on. I have to get bead charms, or I can get bead charms and do them at a really lower price, or I can put glass beads in there if you want the really expensive ones. So, and I can do whatever in there. So, we'll work it out. When would you need them by, Kevin? And warming up this clear rod so it can accept the red. Always check with your glasses down to make sure that you're actually doing red, because it sometimes looks red and it's not. That has happened. Alright, a line here. There's red. And now a little bit of orange, and it's looking kind of, yes, correct, Kevin. JANNINE.Scott@gmail. That's it. Thank you so much for your interest. I'm glad you like my work. Big chunk of orange at the end there. That was swampy. Yellow. If you hear all this hammering, there's somebody building a new door in our building today. We have not great doors that have just seen better days, and they're being replaced. So it's pretty awesome. Unfortunately, it needs a lot of pounding. Red, orange, yellow, green. Blue. And then we'll do that super pinky purpley violet. EDP, Evil to Vitrifying Purple. You know it's a fun color when you got a name like that. Actually, the trick with EDP is just using a high oxygenated flame. I mean, if you have enough oxygen in your flame, it should be okay. This thing totally wants to topple on me, but we're not going to let it. Saved. You guys totally didn't see that, but that was a close one. Anyways, I'm going to make a little punty here, and I'm going to attach it to the end of this, and then I'm going to stretch and twist while I'm stretching. Okay, and this is a handle. It's a punty. push the end of this latticino beginnings here. You attach this, it's like a handle. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to melt and pull, twist, stretch it out gently. And I don't want a very thick one. Maybe kind of a thin one. Yeah, that's about the thing I'm looking for. So we'll pull like that. See, I wanted to do that much earlier. We're just going to grab it. Let's see if I can melt it from the other side. I don't know. We're going to try and see this one. That's how it goes. Waste it. At least another 2 beads worth. Maybe more. All right. Very nice. There we go. Now we're going to make a bunch of little mini beads. How much does a torch cost, and is there any good, cheaper alternatives? Good question. Canissa. My torch is pretty expensive, actually. This is a professional grade torch. You don't want to start with this size torch, anyways. I would recommend starting with a minor burner. And there are beginner kits that you can get in different glass companies. I usually go through Franz Art Glass and Supply. They are in Washington State, and they have beginner setup kits. So you can check that out. And then I'm also going to have classes here as well. You could start on the cheapest torch that you can do is called a hothead, which is a very cheap alternative to start making beads. However, it is difficult to make the glass not turn black. So it takes a little bit of practice. So that's the cheapest way to do it. Actually makes it a lot more difficult to use, but that's your answer. So, yeah, there's a lot of different kinds of torches out there. So I graduated to this one a long time ago, but I started on a hothead, and then I graduated to a minor burner, and then I got this one, and I've had this one for a long time. So, hello, Rafael Sanchez, how you doing? Little rainbow beads. They're so stinking cute. All about the cute little super tiny beads. Oh my goodness. When I make them into jewelry, I just sit there and squeal the whole time. That's ridiculous. Even. There you go. The most important thing you want to have if you are starting a glass studio like this to do Canissa, if you're going to do this, you have to have ventilation. That's kind of important. And if you start with soft glass, it's a lot easier to get started with it than it is with borrowed. But then you graduate to boil. Because the glass, the torches, everything is more expensive with boil. Although lately, I must admit, the soft glass has not been cheap either. Because this comes from Italy. All the glass that I use comes from Italy. And so, needless to say, they're stupid expensive right now. That's the other thing about the glass too, is you really can't be in a hurry when you're making beads or working with glass at all. It will melt at exactly the temperature it can melt at, and it'll move exactly as fast as it can. And if you're impatient with it, it is a guaranteed disaster. So usually if I have to stop doing the torch because I'm being impatient. I bought a triple tips torch head that works with propane or acetylene oxymix, but I haven't had the chance to use it. But I've also seen people make things using cheap ass propane torch, so yeah, I guess it depends. If you can find MAP gas, MAPP gas, acetylene's a little too hot for glass, or at least for the soft glass. And the propane's pretty dirty. But if you find MAP gas, that's going to be your best bet. That's how I started, man. So and also there's like, you can go to like Hobby Lobby or one of those places, and they'll have like the glass bead making kit or whatever. Don't get that. Go through one of the places that sells glass equipment. The torch head might be a little bit more expensive, but you're really not going to be disappointed. Like, don't get one through the craft stores. They don't know anything about glass. I'm serious. Seriously, don't do it. So I go through Franz, F-R-A-N-T-Z, artglass.com, and that's just, I mean, they're not sponsoring me or anything. It's just, that's my favorite place to order from. That's what I've been ordering from for years. Okay, let's make a bigger one. We're going to make bigger beads. Let's do it. Okay. So I'm going to make it kind of look a little bit disc-like, and then we're going to put little clear bits on it. Actually, let's do a few more spaces. Yeah, there'll be a ton of earrings on the website soon, so I've got all kinds. I also have like little charms that I got. Oh my gosh, y'all! I bought little acorn charms. So the bottoms of the earrings in the fall will all have little acorns on them, which I'm dying over. They're so cottagecore cuteness. And then I also got some little tiny stars, and then little itty bitty tiny, they're super small. And then I got some the 2 peas in a pod, which are the cutest things ever. 2 peas in a pod, the acorns, and stars. I'll be here in the next couple of days. So I've got to make lots of earring beads so I can keep up with it. And I got those through Etsy, but I have to get them through suppliers that ship from the United States, because dang, the shipping right now is mental. I looked up on Etsy to buy beads. I mean, they're just little like beads, and it was like over $100 to ship from overseas. I was like, what? So that's kind of a thing, but some things are. Gonna get this one a little bit more, not quite big enough. That should be right. Just a little bit bigger. Getting that size right is kind of tricky. Alright, there we go. And I'm going to put little clear spheres all over it. Yeah, the only problem also with working with just propane, and I've seen people do it, it's dirty. The gas comes out kind of blackened, and so it blackens the clear glass. When you try and make things clear, you won't be able to get that real nice transparent vibe. It just won't happen. So my torch is pretty expensive, but I've grown into it. You don't want to start out with a big torch. It's too hot. You won't be able to control. It'll be hard to control the glass. You'll know when you need to grow into another torch. I'll never forget when my miner burner got too small for me. I'll never forget it. I'm like, oh my gosh, it needs to burn faster. It needs to melt faster. So when you get like that, it's time to upgrade your torch. But I don't think there's any really big reason to like get all the big equipment. I feel like sometimes people get like big monster equipment, thinking if they have all the monster equipment, then they'll kick all the butt, making all the things. But it's not the equipment that makes you good at it. It's time. You have to spend time on it. A lot of time. Alright. I gotta get these dots right. There we go. Alright. That'll work. Okay, switching beverages. Great. And also, we want to make some rainbow spacers. So, I'm going to do 3 orange ones with little yellow dots on them. Let's do I'm going to do a stringer for this one. You know, people pull stringers different ways. I know that a lot of people will just take pliers and just grab it and out. For some reason, I really like to have a nice punty, just because that's how I started doing it long ago, and I'm just used to it. So this is a clear glass piece, and I'm going to be getting a little gather on the end of it. And then I'm going to squish it down so there's a little disc on the top of this glass rod. And then I'm going to attach it to this yellow rod so that I can stretch it out. Now when this clear rod becomes has a little disc on it, like this, it's called a punty. They also use this word for hot shot for large scale furnace glass, but theirs I believe are metal. But the term is the same. So it means handle. So there we go. So yeah, I'm doing this really cute rainbow bracelet that's taking me forever to make, but it's rainbow beads in either black or white, like black or white stripes with rainbows, and then some of the other beads are just going to be like red and yellow or orange and green or just combinations of rainbow colors. It's going to be super colorful, which is just like I like it. Alright, so I'm going to do let's do green and yellow. Okay, so I'm going to heat this up. Usually can fit about 3 of these because they're kind of disc shaped. I want them to be kind of bigger, so they're going to be kind of taller when I put them on the hand drum. Ooh, excuse me. Ooh, random. Gotta heat it up hot enough so it'll stick. There we go. Yeah, I want them to be like thinner discs, so they're gonna go in between solid colored beads. I think it's gonna be pretty cool. A little taller. corners are a little chunky. It's coming off a little chunky at me today. Flattened out. Alright. I'm gonna put little yellow dots on this one. Shooting for 5 of them. If I do 6, that would be good too. Let's do 6 actually. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. There's a little green and yellow spacer. It's actually more like a disc. A green and yellow disc. I'm gonna make 3 of them. Thanks a lot for joining me on my live. I appreciate y'all. It is nice to have a little company because this is just what I'm doing anyways. So it's nice to have y'all here. So what we are doing. It's nice to meet people from all over the world on a random Tuesday. I love that. I'm in Colorado, here in the United States. You know, don't worry, it wasn't my fault. I didn't vote for him. But yeah, here in Colorado, it is a beautiful day out there, and we are cuddled up to the torch, and I'm having a beautiful day in here too. I get to melt the glass. Okay. Alright, green, we're going to do yellow. Also kind of wanted to do some implosions today just because they're really fun to watch, and I haven't done one of those live. Implosions are pretty cool, so maybe we'll do one of those too. I might be able to do 4 in here actually. Let's do that. I can fit one more on there before these things start getting mad at me. I definitely have to get them in the kiln. This is soft glass, right? As long as I don't reheat these guys over here, they shouldn't pop. But we'll put them in the kiln. When I take them out of the kiln, will be the truth time. Truth. see if there's enough of this yellow dots on. This might pop on me, we will see. Sometimes if you get too close to the cunty after it's cooled down and reheat it, just like the other beads, it'll pop. So one time I had it pop and it jumped right onto my lip. So yeah, whoever asked me if I'd ever hurt myself, that was kind of a bad one. It sucked. Another time I had it to where, and they come and go. Yeah, that was a bad one. Another time I had a little chip fly into my shirt. Like I recommend that people either wear short sleeves or push your sleeves up, because if you have your sleeve open, it can just fly in there and then it'll just attach itself to your skin. It's pretty much the worst. So I can't recommend that one bit. Okay, so we're gonna try an implosion. Let's do that. I've done one of these in a while. So I'm gonna do let's do black and white, just to keep it there. Okay, so in order to make an implosion, it's a little mini implosion, it's just a little guy, and this is with a soft glass. This is also done in borosilicate. A lot of the time when they're doing it in borosilicate, you can do it on a ball, like on a bubble, like in a blown out tube. So if you're doing it on a blown out tube, it's a different experience than doing it this way. But this way is also good. So there we go. I'm going to get a gather at the end of it, right, like that. I'm going to squish it down. So you have like kind of like a big plenty. That's called a Maria. It's very big. And then I'm going to flatten it down with my mashers, so I get a nice flat disc all the way around. I haven't made one of these in a while. I'm surprised I'm going to do it live. Okay, so you got a nice flat disc going. And we are going to take maybe black. So we're going to do, this is dark black. I mean, it's intense black, so it should turn out pretty good. So I'm going to put little tiny itty bitty dots on this, little bitties. Put the little black ones in the middle. And then I'm going to put little yellow ones. Bigger than the ones I just put in them, so it's going to be a little bit bigger. Oh look, I have a yellow stringer. Oh good look. I already have yellow stringer pull. So I'm going to put bigger dots. So these are tiny. They're super bitty. And I'm going to put bigger ones around it. Alright, so I've got 4 tiny micro dots in the middle, and I've got a big one up top. I'm going to try and get 5, because I think that having an even number is weird. Okay, so this looks like, oh shit. No, so it looks like now, but it broke. So, that happened, y'all. It just broke. So, here's another piece of it, so we're going to try it again. Maybe I shouldn't talk about it as much. I should know better than to do a technique that I haven't done in a long time live, but we're going to do it anyway. By the way, Kanissa, if you're still here, if you're mixing that oxygen with your propane, that will work for glass. If you're still here, that's the thing. A different color. I'm just going to do it all red. dots everywhere. There are lots of really cool patterns you can follow doing this that will make it into different kinds of flowers. I haven't done one in a while, so we're just going to stick with a basic one. Dots. I feel like for flowers, for me, for these guys, I think they look kind of nice when they're really random. So I've got a whole bunch of little dots on the end of this disc. So what I'm going to do is take my paddle, flatten those bad boys, and then this is the weird part. So when you're making an implosion, your top part that's going to be on this side and around your edges, I'm basically going to make gravity make it turn it inside out, sort of. It's kind of hard to describe. Show you what this looks like. There's a tiny little flower in there. Can't really see it, but it's in there. And I'm going to put it in the kiln. So what I like to do with those is put them onto some sort of base. Or put them on a bead, which is what I was hoping to do. So maybe we'll just do that. We'll make 2 more of them in red. And then we'll make the there we go. Make them out of red. So we're going to do 2 more little red flower implosions. Random dots. Load it. Melting around the edges, and the edges kind of roll down and turn everything inside out. This bead will be very cool when you see it out of the kiln. I love little micro implosions. They're so cute. Little micro implosions that you can't see because they're too hot. Anyway, we'll put it in the kiln. I'm actually going to add these to a bead, so that's what we're going to do after. Okay, we're going to make 1 more of those. squares with dots. Here we go. Soft glass implosion here. Okay. All dots everywhere. I'm gonna melt it down. Squish it down, the reds. I'm going to heat on the edges and have it turn itself inside out. Now, I don't know who came up with this technique, but it is nuts. It is hard to get a photograph of it while it's happening if I don't have my Diddy lens on, but tomorrow when I take it out of the kiln, then you will know. Okay. So that's a little implosion right there. So there's 3 implosions in the kiln right now, staying on the rod. Okay, so it looks like this. There's the kiln. I've just the tips of it out on the outside here so I can get to them. Okay, so now we're going to work on the bead part of this. And I would like to make it black and white. So I believe that I will make a latticino letter. This big, thicky white, man. I don't know why I ordered such thick white. It likes to pop, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, gotta wait for this to warm up. You're right. They're officially warmed up. So I'm gonna do, I think, let's see here. Let's do, I've got a big, it's a big latticino, so let's see here. It's a big rod. So we'll do 1, 2, 3 on one side. Kind of like a black and white candy cane, sort of. Let's just do 3. This is intense black, so hopefully it will, when I stretch it out and twist it, hopefully it doesn't turn purple. But we'll see. It is intense black. Usually does alright. But we will see. Putting clear in between the 2 black lines to keep them separated. Keep them separated. And then I'm going to put clear on either side of this. Not super necessary, but we're doing it anyways. Alright. I'm not going to encase it all the way around because I don't think it needs it. So, here we go. And we're going to stretch and pull, twist. Nice, the black is actually staying nice and black, which is good. nice black and white latticino. We're going to take a larger one of the mandrels, and I'm going to start it out with black, I think. Yeah, I don't need the intense black for the base because we're going to be layering it up a bunch and then covering it. I did use the intense black for the latticino with the white because when you're stretching it out, if it's not the intense black, it will pull out purple. Starting with black. I'm going to do one layer black. And I'm creating my base bead. So I'm making a bigger bead right now. We're going to do a bunch of layers on this one, see how it goes. Definitely need to turn up my heat a little bit. And that little baby heat was for tiny little baby beads. This is not one of those beads. Here we go. I'm going to put a line in the middle, try and get like a center high sort of bead looking thing going on here. Although when I put the flowers on, it'll create that anyways. So we're going to do this. Okay. We just have a black gather on this mandrel. And we're going to put white and black striped latticino on it. It's only a little hot. A little hot for this half glass. Okay. Take my paddle and fix my bubbles, because you know how much fun that is. Go. Looking a little wonky, but that's alright. I'm going to put this latticino over it. I just want to get it round and get all the dimples out of it. Okay, get a sort of roundness. I'm going to take this latticino and I'm going to wrap it around the bead. Another dang bubble. Come here, buddy. So for soft glass, I don't know how y'all do it. But if I have a bubble that starts to develop in my base bead, when you look at the bubble after it's popped, you can kind of see the clay on the bead release. You can see the bead release through it. And so what I do is I kind of push the hot glass onto the place where there's a space. And it takes practice, but it helps. Alright, let's go. We're just going to lay this one out all the way around. So the base bead did not need to be black, I should add. I could have done this one clear and it would have been fine. I just figured that if I made the latticino not quite touch each layer, then if you could see past it, then it would just show you black, and that would look nice. So that was what I was thinking. Not 100% necessary. Okay. Now we're going to melt all that down. Melt it all down. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate you guys. Thanks a lot. Nice and smooth all the way around. Needs to be shaped a bit, but still looking good. Alright. Now I'm going to put clear over that. Yeah, I'm going to put clear over that first. And then we're going to attach the flowers that I put in the kiln. All the way around, y'all. Then we're going to melt it all flat, and then we're going to add the implosions that are in the kiln. I have not made these beads in a really long time, so I'm not sure how this is going to go. Very exciting. Okay. Go, off this part down. Crank it up a little bit to get this melting done. So make sure you keep it far enough away from your torch so you don't scald the glass. It is soft glass, can be a little persnickety. bead that looks like this. Looks like there's another bubble in there right there, so we'll have to see if that works out. Okay, I put an implosion on. This is the implosion I had in the kiln before. And I'm gonna heat it up. Just dab it on. There's one implosion that has attached. I think there's a little bit too much clear. That away. I kind of melt it down a little bit. Now I want it to stay bulbous, or you won't be able to see the implosion when it does. So we're gonna kind of keep it on there so it's a little bulbous, but I definitely want it to be melted into the base. Cool about glass, you can pretty much make anything with it. It just astounds me that people sometimes think that pipes and things are the only thing people can make with glass. It's disappointing. I don't know. So we don't know what this looks like tomorrow. Last one. gonna do next. It's gonna be a pretty neat looking bead if it turns out the way I hope it does. Put a little black dot in between each one of these, and then I'm gonna put a cubic zirconia. In each one of these little black dots. I think that would look awesome. Let's see if we can do it. Change my mind. If I was going to put the cubic zirconia on, I would have had to have done it first. So black dots is. Let's put some white dots on there too. It's a little hot for dot work. Oh, hi there. Hi, Tengen. How you doing? Buddha. Do you make bowl or zaza or something like that? What is it? A pipe? Okay, that's what everybody's asking. No, this is a bead. I'm a bead maker. Sorry, there was a comment I did not see. Sorry about that. Nope, I'm making a bead. There are implosion roses in each one of these. So, there we go when it goes. I have no idea how that one's gonna look. We'll have to see. So I still have a half an hour. Here's a new lives from for 2 to 4. Do blue and purple spacers. Let's do 2 of those. Thank you. I really appreciate that, Ellipsis TV. Thank you. Yeah, I'm a bead maker. So I make glass beads. I'm going to check out my website. I'm at J9Glass.art, and that's my website. I make all kinds of stuff. I do chains and wall sculpture and plant pokers and jewelry and all kind of stuff. So if you want to check out my website, it's J9Glass.art. Okay, so I'm going to build up this blue and then we're going to put purple dots on it. I want them to be kind of disc-like. So kind of build it up and build it up and build it up and build it up. So this is blue. I'm not sure what this blue is actually called. It might be opaque lapis, but I always just call it Superman. But I had a friend of mine look at one of my beads that I made with this color, and she called it Cookie Monster Blue. So now that blue is called Cookie Monster Blue to me. If anybody saw the newer Superman movie, I was very disappointed, and honestly, I was upset about the song at the end. The punk rock song. I'm like, no, Superman's not punk rock. What the hell? It's weird. Cool, yes. Punk rock, no. Okay, so I got blue, and I'm going to put purple dots on it. Off we go. This is evil to vitrifying purple. We'll see how it is cooperating today. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, Ellipsis TV. It'll be better when we get it out of the kiln tomorrow. So I'll take a picture of it and take a picture of it when it comes out of the kiln and put it in my post. Dots on them. We're going to go for 6 of them. Hopefully this puntty doesn't explode on me. We will see. Sometimes that happens. That's all we look in the purple there. Alright. Okay, now these two go in the kiln. Alright. Ooh, I think I'm going to do some black and white spacers with the rest of this latino. Manuel. Hi. How you doing? Welcome. Some little black and white beads here. There it goes. So that happens. That's what happens when your punchy breaks. So we got these 3 cuties. Let's see what other latino I have. With this too. I have it laying around, I might as well use it. Those are really cool colors together too. I'm going to mix some orange and red. I'm going to mix some of these guys and do some of these and some yellow. Got a lot of blues and purples, but I feel like I need more oranges and reds. And I'll be on for another 15 minutes. I want to let you know that I really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for checking out my channel. I'm usually here at 2 o'clock if I'm going to do a live. It'll be from 2 to 4 Mountain Standard Time in Colorado. So wherever you are, it was 2 hours from now that I started, and that's when I usually do them. So I hope to see you back another time. I am getting ready for shows, so I will be here a lot. Most likely just about every day, unless I'm doing a show. And maybe I'll do a live from where I'm at when I'm doing a show for a little while, just so you know, kind of see what that is like. So this is just yellow and red, orange and red. And I'm not trying to mix them to where they're totally mixed. I'm just trying to mix them to where they are marbleized. So you can kind of see streaks of each color in there. I might even add some yellow. Make a little flame action. Let's do that. I'm going to add a little bit of yellow. Get rid of this orange one. I'm going to add a little yellow to this piece. Why not? So here's yellow. So I've got orange and red and yellow. And you know, you won't be able to see this being these colors as I'm making them right now in the heat, because warm colors like reds, oranges, and yellows all turn black, or very dark color at least, in the flame. So you really won't be able to see it until it's done, but I'll show you. Okay. Keep it going. Mixing the color. Here we go. Kind of mushed it down a little bit. And now I'm just going to stretch it out. So if you're going to make a new color, you want to like mix the holy heck out of it. What I like to do is kind of give it just a little bit of a mix so that you can really see each one of the colors. Because glass isn't like paint. You know, it doesn't combine like liquid. Weird stuff. Hi Vincenti? Hello. How are you doing today? Lopez, how are you today? Welcome. I'll only be on for another 15 minutes, but thank you for joining me. I do lives at 2 o'clock most days, so it's 2 o'clock torch time with J9. I am J9 with me. My name is Jannine, and my nickname is J9. So here's what that orange looks like. See how it's like, see all that cool color in there? If you don't mix it all the way, you're left with some really neat stuff going on. So I'm going to make a couple spacers and a couple main beads with these. So I'll make a bunch of spacers with this mixed color for the next 15 minutes for my little finale for the day. Today. Everybody hanging in there, making cool things with this color combination, fiery colors. Hi Sebastian, how are you doing today? Hello. you so much for joining me. Enough like red and orange earrings. The ones I have are super cute, so I'll make it work. These are just spacers. I'm gonna make a bunch of spacers, and I'm gonna do a few mandrels with just 2 beads on them using this. That last one's drunk, don't worry about it. My watch doesn't like it when I do lives for 2 hours. It's always harassing me to try and walk. Okay. Do a little bit more with those. So here we go. Should I put white with this red and orange, or should I put? What should I put with it? This weird olive green. You're kind of cool with that, right? Yeah. Thank you, Vicente. Yeah, Vicente. Thank you. So I'm going to make a bead, 2 beads next to each other. Actually, we're going to start with, let's do that green. I like that green. That's going to be weird. Okay, do this green. It's kind of like this cool olive zombie green, which I like. Going to heat up the mandrel a bit. You don't want to get too close to the torch head with soft glass. It's Italian soft glass. It comes from the Effitre factory in Murano, Italy. Another one of this cool, weird olive green stuff. Very strange color. I love this color. It's like a really weird olivey green. Beautiful. Okay, so now I'm going to put dots of my cool orange thing in here on top of those greens and dots. So maybe little gathers. I'm going to kind of bring them up. And then we're going to do clear on every other bit. So here's this one. Looks like we're going to be able to do 4 dots. I like to do 5, but sometimes 4 looks better. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so I could leave it like that, but wait. There's in fact more. we are going to take some clear, and I'm going to put clear in between each one of those orange red dots that I put down. And then we're going to melt it all out. So I just put clear dots in between those dots I just put down. Now we're going to melt those flat, and then those dots become stripes. So the clear kind of squishes them into stripes. And then instead of dot beads, we have strip beads. Lovely. Anything that's encased, I usually don't do more than 2 at a time. I just feel like it's totally gonna backfire on me and crack. I try and do more than that. Yeah, this will be fun to see what these look like going out of the kiln tomorrow. I'm looking forward to see what these bad guys look like. Okay, now I'm going to put a line of clear right in the center. And then you melt it out. And what that does is it kind of melts those stripes in a nice definite stripes, and then also gives you a nice pucker on either side of your bead. So when you build it from the center and melt it out, that's what happens. Alright, it's almost time for me to turn off the camera. I'm going to do one more spacer round, and then this actually needs a little bit more clear, because this is a little bit smaller, just barely. Those are about right. Okay. And in the kiln with them. One more line of stringers with you. One more line of stringers. Or of spacers. I think I'll do more of those orange ones because they're so stinking cute. So we'll do 4 spacers, and then we'll do 2 discs with dots, and then I'll stop for the day with you guys. Well, appreciate you being with me today. Thank you so much. Also, this orange and yellow and red combination looks really great with silver. So when I put the silver findings with it, it really looks good. Okay, so I'm going to build this one up just a little bit more. And I'm going to do one right next to it. This can be an earring set. They're about the same size. And then we're going to put clear blobbies. I do 4 of them. Let's do 5. 4 a little better. Hi Snake, how you doing? I am just finishing up my live right now, so it's unfortunately that you're just coming here now. Definitely try and like and follow my page so you can see me when I'm here next. I do lives at 2 o'clock Mountain Standard Time in Colorado most days. I'm a bead maker in Colorado. Beaded. Shish kebab. It's a glass shish kebab. I don't think you want to eat it for sure. I love shish kebabs. Little clear dots on this one. Those are nice and chunky. Cute. So those are all glass beads. So I'm going to put them in the kiln now. Thank you so much for joining me today for my live. I'm going to turn off the torch now. I've got to move around a little bit more. This is J9's 2 o'clock torch time with J9. So definitely join me again. Like and subscribe to my channel if you would. I'd really appreciate it. And we'll probably see y'all tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Thank you. Bye. Have a great day.